Hi, and welcome back to the Dr. Ramsey Show. Today I'm going to talk about a headline that was in the news today and has to do with hydration. I thought it was very interesting how they wrote this up, and it's from a company called Inc. Dot. I don't even know if it's com, but Inc. Dot is what I put in. I found them. And they were founded in 1979, and they're a brand dedicated exclusively to owners and managers of growing private companies with the aim to deliver real solutions for today's innovative company builders. They had a total monthly audience of 2 million in 2010, and now it's only over 25 million. So it's really a business online presence. And as I share this with you, I'm going to try to read it better. Like I did speed writing in high school, and I did speed reading, like where you kind of read every third day, word. So I recognized as I read my notes last week, it wasn't very fluid, so I'm going to try to make it more fluid this time. But I think you all understood what I was trying to say. So the name of this article, or they reviewed an article that was over 30 years. So there's just a write-up about a 30-year study on hydration, and it's called, "Do you want to live a longer, healthier life? How much water you drink can be a major factor. Studies show you need to be just 1% dehydrated to experience a 5% decrease in cognitive function," right? So hydration is important for our memory. A 2% decrease in brain hydration, which is a very little amount, can result in a short-term memory loss, right? So hydration is essential. And the reason this caught my attention is I had a patient last week who couldn't urinate. He has prostatitis. Long story short, when we finally got a catheter in, he passed a lot of blood clots over a couple of days until his urine became normal. And he was so grateful to learn how important hydration is. I don't think he ever realized that before. So this is perfect timing for this to come out. And then there's this. A National Institute of Health study just published in Biomedicine found that not drinking enough water is also associated with a significantly higher risk of developing chronic diseases, right? A higher risk of dying early, and a higher risk of being biologically older than your chronological age. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants to die early. Nobody wants a chronic illness. So the one thing we can do is to hydrate our bodies more. Obviously, or I'm going to say hydrate our bodies well, because many of you do already hydrate well. Obviously, we all want to live long, healthy lives, but longevity is also an important factor in success, because this is a business journal. The longer you live, the more likely you are to be able to start and maintain a thriving business. So yeah, drinking water matters. How much water do we need? So this says, when the research analyzed data collected over a 30-year period, they found that people with serum salt levels, sodium, that are high, on the high end of normal, had overall worse health outcomes than those that had a lower end of normal salt, right? Because they're saying that the less water we drink, the more salty our blood is, and the more we drink, the less salty, because we're diluting it out. They're using sodium markers on blood levels as a marker of aging. People with high levels of sodium, again, dehydrated patients, also have a 15% higher chance of being biologically older than their chronological age. They said that earlier, and a 64% higher risk of developing chronic diseases, as said earlier, like heart failure, stroke, chronic lung disease, diabetes, and dementia. Can we prevent this with drinking more water? Sounds like we can. I know hydration is very important. People with extremely high levels of serum, so above the measured level in blood, the upper limit on blood, had a 50% higher risk of being biologically older and a 21% higher risk of dying early or dying young. They didn't say what young meant in this article. According to the National Academy of Medicine, women should drink 72 ounces of water per day, and men should drink 104 ounces per day. It says you might need more depending on your level of physical activity, but that's a good place to start. Well, I guess it is a good place to start, but I want to say 72 ounces for me would be way too little. I weigh 140 pounds. This bottle is 32 ounces of water. What we really need, especially in the desert, is to drink our body weight, 140 ounces of water per day. That's 5 of these. 150 ounces is 5 of these 32. So every day I need to drink 5 of these to stay hydrated, to not get a chronic illness. And I know you probably remember this, but this is one of my favorite things on the planet, this Redmond Real Salt. I put salt in all of my water for 2 reasons. 1, it makes the water more hydrating. Two, I love the taste. So I guess the third reason is it alkalinizes us as well. So salt has many benefits. I've shared this recipe with so many patients. Many of them don't like it at all. Some love it, and that's how it is. But the more salt we put in our water, the more hydrated we're going to be, and the other things like less sugar we're going to crave, etc. And so you'll see in this video a link. If you've missed the previous video on Salt Saves Lives, it'll be there for you to watch. I think it was one of my favorites that I did because it changed my health dramatically. As soon as I started putting salt in my water, I started having more energy immediately. My bowels are efficient, but they always were, but they're much, much more efficient. And there's an upcoming show on constipation where we're going to talk about this salt again. Here are a few simple rules. For example, they say, drink an 8-ounce glass of water before every meal. If you're trying to lose weight, you'll partly fill your stomach and feel full faster. So they say 3 meals, that's 24 ounces of water right there. Use a water bottle to keep track. I use a water bottle all the time. Then some liquids dehydrate us. So if we drink a soda, let's say we drink a Coke, Dr. Pepper, right, the caffeinated ones, we have to drink 2 of the same size sodas to get back to baseline. Otherwise, we're dehydrating ourselves. That would also be true for coffee and black tea. So keep it simple. They say, as with most things in life, success is based on doing the right things most of the time. The key is to focus on doing more of what is good for you and do it more often. That approach is not only good for improving your health and longevity, but for achieving anything worthwhile. So, the name of this article again was a new study shows improved health and increased longevity comes down to the rule 72-104. So 72 they're saying is how many ounces women should drink, and 104 is how many ounces men should drink. I just think it should be more. So thank you for listening. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.